When to apologize and when to walk away, a man's guide. Every man's been there. Should you say sorry and fix it, or leave it all behind? One builds respect, the other builds regret. Let's break it down. We're diving deep into the psychology of apologies, when they matter, and when they're straight up BS. This isn't about avoiding accountability. This is about owning your actions without getting walked all over. Get ready, because this one's gonna hit home. Strong men own their mistakes. We've all screwed up, missed a birthday, said something stupid when we were tired, hell, maybe even cheated. It happens. But what sets strong men apart is how they handle these mistakes. It's not about the mistake itself, but the response to it. When you mess up, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by guilt and shame. You might want to hide, avoid the person you hurt, or pretend it never happened. But that's not the way to go. Facing your mistakes head on is the first step towards making things right. But there's a difference between a real apology and just trying to smooth things over. A real apology, man, that takes guts. It's not about saying the words, "I'm sorry," just to get out of trouble. It's about genuinely feeling remorse and wanting to make amends. It's looking someone in the eye and saying, "I messed up. That was on me." No excuses, no blaming her mood, just straight ownership. And that's powerful. It's about being vulnerable and showing that you're human, that you make mistakes, but are willing to own up to them. Because when you own your crap, you get to decide what happens next. You're not begging for forgiveness, you're taking control of the situation. You're saying, "I respect you enough to be real with you even when it sucks." That's attractive, that's leadership, that's what builds trust. But here's the catch. You only apologize when you mean it. If you're just saying sorry to avoid a fight or to get her off your back, that's weak, bro. That's gonna backfire, guaranteed. You gotta mean it, man. You gotta actually want to fix things, not just sweep them under the rug, because a real apology isn't about escaping the consequences. It's about stepping up and dealing with them head on. It's about showing that you're willing to put in the work to make things right. It's about demonstrating that you're committed to change and growth. And that's what makes a man strong. It's not about never making mistakes, but about how you handle them when they happen. So own your mistakes, learn from them, and become a better man because of them. Stop saying sorry just to keep the peace. Let me tell you something. You are not put on this earth to manage a woman's emotions. You are not here to be a constant source of validation, or to be the emotional crutch that she leans on every time she feels insecure or upset. Your role in a relationship is to be a partner, not a caretaker of someone else's emotional landscape. You are not responsible for her happiness at the expense of your own. Your well-being, your mental health, and your happiness are just as important. If you constantly sacrifice your own needs and desires to keep someone else happy, you will eventually lose yourself in the process. If you find yourself constantly apologizing for just being you, your opinions, your hobbies, your friends, then something's off. Apologizing for your very existence, for the things that make you who you are, is a sign that the relationship is not balanced. You should never feel like you have to apologize for being yourself. That's not a healthy relationship, man. That's control. When one person in a relationship feels the need to constantly apologize, it creates a power imbalance. It means that one person is dictating the terms of the relationship and the other is just trying to keep up. And look, I get it. Nobody likes conflict. It's natural to want to avoid arguments and keep things smooth. But avoiding conflict by constantly apologizing is not the solution. It's a temporary fix that leads to long-term problems. It's tempting to just say sorry and diffuse the situation. In the moment, it feels like the easiest way to avoid a fight. But every time you do that, you're chipping away at your own self-respect and self-worth. But here's the thing, constantly apologizing when you did nothing wrong sends a clear message that her feelings matter more than your truth. It tells her that her emotional comfort is more important than your integrity and your sense of self, and that's a dangerous precedent to set. It sets the stage for a relationship where your needs and feelings are always secondary. It creates an environment where you are always on the back foot, always trying to appease and never truly being yourself. Because next time you have an opinion that challenges her, or you want to spend a weekend with the guys, you're already on the defensive. You've conditioned yourself to expect conflict and to preemptively apologize for it. You've taught her that your needs are less important. You've shown her that you will always bend to her will. And that's not a sustainable way to live. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to her either. And that, my friend, is a recipe for resentment. Over time, you will start to resent her for always getting her way, and she will start to resent you for not standing up for yourself. It's a vicious cycle that can only lead to unhappiness for both of you. So next time you feel that urge to apologize just to keep the peace, ask yourself, am I really in the wrong, or am I just afraid of a fight? Take a moment to reflect on the situation and consider whether an apology is truly warranted, because a woman who loves you will respect your boundaries. She will understand that you have your own needs and desires, and she will be willing to work through conflicts in a healthy and constructive way. She'll want you to be happy, even if it means she has to deal with some uncomfortable emotions. A loving partner will value your happiness and well-being just as much as her own, and if she doesn't, well, that tells you everything you need to know. It's a clear sign that the relationship is not built on mutual respect and understanding, and in that case it might be time to reevaluate whether this is the right relationship for you. This is a tough one, but it needs to be said. Sometimes walking away is the most powerful thing you can do. It's not about giving up or being weak. It's about recognizing your worth and understanding that you deserve better. When you walk away from a situation that's draining you, you're actually walking towards something better, something healthier. If you're stuck in a pattern of endless apologies, where every conversation feels like a minefield, it's a sign that something is fundamentally wrong. Apologies should be meaningful and rare, not a daily ritual. When you find yourself constantly saying sorry just to keep the peace, it's time to reassess the relationship. If you're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to speak your mind or express your true feelings, you're not in a healthy relationship. A relationship should be a safe space where you can be yourself without fear of judgment or retribution. If you're always anxious about how she'll react, it's a clear sign that respect is missing. If your peace of mind depends on her mood swings, it might be time to bounce. Your mental and emotional well-being should never be at the mercy of someone else's temper. You deserve to be with someone who brings out the best in you, not someone who keeps you on edge. Look, I'm not saying it's easy. Breakups suck. They're painful and messy, and they leave you questioning everything. But sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that lead to the greatest growth. It's about choosing long-term happiness over short-term comfort. But staying in a relationship that drains your soul, that's way worse. It's like slowly suffocating, losing a little bit of yourself every day. You deserve to be in a relationship that nourishes your soul, not one that depletes it. Because here's the thing about respect, you can't force someone to give it to you. Respect is earned, not demanded. It's a mutual exchange that forms the foundation of any healthy relationship. Without it, love can't truly flourish. You can't apologize your way into a healthy relationship. Apologies are important, but they're not a substitute for genuine respect and understanding. If you're constantly apologizing, it's a sign that something deeper needs to be addressed. Either she respects you for who you are, flaws and all, or she doesn't. And if she doesn't, then it's time to move on. You deserve to be with someone who loves and respects you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. Then you gotta love yourself enough to walk away. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna miss her. But that's part of the process. Healing takes time, but it's worth it. You'll come out stronger and more self-aware. But trust me, the pain of staying stuck in a relationship that diminishes you, that pain lasts a hell of a lot longer. It eats away at your self-esteem and leaves you feeling empty. Don't let that be your story. That pain lasts a hell of a lot longer. So choose yourself, man. Choose your peace. Choose your dignity. It's not selfish to prioritize your well-being. In fact, it's the most selfless thing you can do because it allows you to be the best version of yourself for those who truly matter. Because the right woman, the one who's worthy of you, will respect you even when you disagree. Disagreements are natural, but they should never lead to disrespect. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding, even in the face of conflict. She'll appreciate your strength, not try to break it. She'll see your value and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. That's the kind of relationship you deserve. And she'll inspire you to be a better man, not a smaller version of yourself. So respect over attachment, always. Choose wisely, and never settle for less than you deserve. Look, being a man isn't about never messing up. It's about owning your mistakes when you do, and having the backbone to walk away from anything that compromises your peace. Apologize with strength, not desperation. Stop saying sorry for being yourself. And remember, if a relationship costs you your peace, it's too expensive. If you've ever had to choose between pride and peace, drop a brain emoji in the comments. Let's build that emotional intelligence with backbone. Like, subscribe and share this with a man who needs to hear it.